Hey guys, I'm out on another job site here. This is going to be another trim phase QA. First couple I did with you were kind of lighthearted. I'm going to give you a more serious approach. Is actually what we do during the trim phase and what we're looking for and things to take note of. This is the final phase of the plumbing in the house, so we have to make sure everything's correct. I'll see you inside. May sound silly, but the first thing you want to do on approach is to make sure there's no plumbing debris outside left by any of your crews, because that ultimately is the supervisor's responsibility, which is me. So I want to make sure we keep a clean, safe job site. Next thing I'll do is, again, outside the house, I want to take care of everything out here before we get inside. I come over to the main where it comes in. I'll check our ball valve for leaks, make sure the water's left on by the trim installers, and then you take notice of things like this PRV and how it's piped all the way into the ground. That's not going to work, and it's not necessary. So items like this, we create a list, and I will send my punch guy back to take care of. Let's move on. So I'll continue outside with the hose bib in the back. Make sure we have copper flow there. You'd be surprised. That's working. This will be our second hose bib. Good to go. Now we're ready to move inside. I'll start in the garage where the water heater is located. We'll make sure the breaker is on. In this case, it is 11 and 9. We'll go to, I don't know if you can see it, 9 and 11 here. It's on. And when we're at the heater, this particular builder requires a bollard to be installed in front of the heater if it's not in an alcove to prevent cars from slamming into it. This builder also does not require a pan underneath the heater, and the lines should be insulated. That will go on the list for my punch guy. Now we're entering the home. We'll start in the kitchen. So we'll come to the kitchen faucet here, give it a shake, make sure everything is tight. Then we'll run some water. Obviously we'll have cold water. We want to make sure we got good even pressure and that the sprayer works. Next we'll want to run the hot water to ensure that we have hot water where it's supposed to be. Normally it takes a while, don't be discouraged. Linear feet is often different than developed feet, meaning just because you walk across the room doesn't mean the pipes go across that room. They go up in the walls, down through the cabinets. It takes a little longer to get there. We got hot water here. While that water is running, I'll investigate under the cabinet, make sure all the supply lines are installed properly, tight, not leaking. It has a hammer arrestor, and then the trap assembly will make sure it is correct, and that it has a air admittance vent that is above the bottom of the bowl of the sink. Normally I'd plug the disposal in at this point and test it, but there is no switch to turn it on. That's going to be an electrical issue. That won't go on my QA sheet because our electrical supervisor will come in, and I'm positive he'll identify that. He's very good. We'll move on to the guest bathroom. In here it's the same repetitive stuff. You want to run the water, make sure you have hot. Hot's always on the left, cold's always on the right. You want to make sure you got the hot on the left side. And then you want to make sure you don't have any leaks. This one looks pretty good. I don't see any leaks or drips. The orientation is correct. Moving on to the toilet. What I look for is the installation of the supply line, what orientation the angle stop is in, if it's compromising the line itself. The actual toilet, I want to make sure it's sealed to the floor and that it's not rocking. Everything is tight how it should be. Another thing I look for is when you're sealing your toilet, you want to leave an air gap underneath, in the back preferably, so it's aesthetically better. This one doesn't have it. So that will also go on the list for my punch guy. Moving on to the tub. We'll check for handle sturdiness, plate secure, tub spout secure, waste and overflow, and the actual tub shear that works. Now we'll run the water. Again, we're going to make sure the coil hot is on the left side. We'll check the shower head now. Finally, we'll enter the master bath. And we'll do the same check we did in the guest. It's just a repetitive process, but it's important. Hot water, cold water on the right. That's what we're looking for. We'll let that run. We'll check the drain. No visible leaks. I've already checked this. Just going over it with you guys to give you an idea of how it actually goes. Check the trap assembly, everything is good. Toilet sturdiness is on point. Nothing shaking there. It is sealed to the floor and does not have an air gap. It will also have to be corrected. Same deal. Tub spout is fairly secure. We're gonna have to check that out. Shower plate is in place. Waste and overflow is good. Tub screw is working. Orientation is correct. Shower head not leaking. So from here, what I do is take all that information and I will put it onto my QA sheet. These are some of the other things we found, and sign in and everything. I'll hand that list off to my punch guy, and he'll come tomorrow with all the materials needed to complete this house and get 100% ready for the new homeowner. I appreciate you guys watching.